What's going on, guys? ChaseWins.com coming to you for January the 5th, Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. Rounding out another great week, first week in the new year, and we're getting ready to embark on the first full week in the new year. So let's hammer it out with another big winning day. It's still Saturday night. Like I said yesterday, I did a video very early this morning just because of time. I mean, there was over almost 130 college football or college basketball games that were on deck yesterday. Obviously, no one has the time to go through and fully break down every single one of them. So, what I have to do in situations like that is go through and take a glance at every one, spend a minute or two on it to look at it and see if I can notice an edge or a soft line or something, fairly quickly. Just notice something that we can find an edge on. And then the ones that I circle, I come back to, and that's where I do my deep dives. Actually fully broke down about 52 college basketball games in total, every single NBA game, every single NHL game, and then as well as the football, or as well as the college football game that was being played, which I did not have a play in. The reason that I'm coming to you early or late Saturday night, which it's still, God, it's not even 11 o'clock yet. The Patriots game is still going on. I paused that. Not looking great for them, though. So it's hard to wrap my brain around the fact that it very well could be the last time we watch Tom Brady play football. And like him or hate him, I don't care. I love the guy. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not a Patriots fan, but I am an enormous Tom Brady fan. I don't care if YouTube flags me for it. He deserves it. So I'm most certainly pulling for him. It's just hard to wrap your brain around the fact that you may have to sit down next season or even, into the playoffs and not see him, but, sit down on an NFL Sunday and not hear or see Tom Brady, hear about Tom Brady, see Tom Brady anymore. And it's wild to think about. But if it is, hats off to a champion. Win or lose, you can walk away always a champion because you always were. And I think you proved to the world that you were the greatest even when the world counted you out 5 years ago. So that game's still going on. We still have one college basketball game that actually just started. But let's go and do the recap that we can do since most of the games are over. And I'm going to go and get you on 2 free plays, 1 NBA, 1 college basketball game. And then before I go to bed tonight, I stayed up all night last night, didn't sleep at all, still have not been to sleep. But I'm going to post early games in college basketball, whatever I have, an early game in the NBA, potentially, if I can get a line for it, because there's not a line yet. And big announcement, I do have my first NHL game of the year for the season. I usually have, in the NHL, I have 2 games of the year. I have 1 pre-All-Star break and then post-All-Star break, obviously, if the games are there. As I was telling you guys in yesterday's video, I was looking at one for Saturday. This game, it'll make sense why I'm pulling the trigger on this game and backed off yesterday. When I had the game broke down, it made the cut just barely as a game of the year, so it was easily a game of the month. And before I pulled the trigger on it, I started looking at Sunday's card. Few things kind of lined up. And I started breaking down the numbers, and I was like, as long as the line is not something astronomical, then I think we get better value. I think we get a higher rating, and I think we have I just think it's a better overall pick for a game the following day. So I've pulled the trigger. The write-up's done. The play is posted. Usually games of the year are $200. But I've discounted it to $100. It comes with a 7-day guarantee, or you get the next big game for free. So you have the choice. If, God forbid, this game were to not come through, which I've only ever lost 1 game of the year, the last 2 games of the year that we've had, we had our one in college football and one in the NFL, both of those easily cashed. Well, NFL made you sweat a little bit. College football is an easy blowout. But if it were, God forbid, to lose, you have two options. Being that it's a Sunday game, I set everything up in the computer to give extensions at noon on Monday if, God forbid, it were to not come through. And you get 7 full days of all premium and daily top plays in all sports. You have until noon Eastern on Monday, if it were to lose, to send me an email and say, I don't want the 7 days. I would rather get your next big top play. And then I will make a note on the account and do such. But if you choose that, you don't get the 7 days. It's one or the other. But we're not going to worry about that. I'm confident in this game. I've already stepped out on it. I've already bet it. And I'm putting it out tonight so that everybody can do so. I am pulling the game down at noon Eastern time tomorrow for purchase, because that is when I am calling it quits for the day. I'm going to work for a few more hours tonight, back some sleep, and then I'll be up working again at 7 a.m. Sunday morning, and I will be in front of the computer working until noon. At noon, I'm calling it a day, so just to avoid any issues or anything like that, at noon, I'm pulling it down, but I'm not going to say when the game starts. There's, plenty of hockey to be played tomorrow. I think there's 6 games in total on tomorrow that are being played. I'm not going to say which one it is, but you have to buy it by noon Eastern time. So anyway, let's get into a recap of what we can recap. The underdogs, they've been barking and they've been biting. Toronto Raptors today in the NBA. Nice easy winner. We took them on the money line. Again, nice winner there. We took a chance with Golden State. I think they played very well. It was at the start of the third quarter, they really hurt themselves by letting Detroit drive to the bucket way too easily, committing a lot of dumb fouls that put them at the line. I mean, don't get me wrong, Detroit should have won the game. I just thought situationally it was a really good spot for Golden State to bag a rare win, but it didn't come through. The Milwaukee Bucks gave it away late. The Dallas Mavericks, we gave that as our free play, and it was actually a top play on our card. So it was a paid play on our card, as I said it was. And they gave away a double-digit lead in the fourth to let them call them all the way back, taking into overtime. The problem is, and I'll never fault someone for playing team basketball, and they're the best at it in the NBA. They play unselfish team ball. Problem is when you have guys go cold, they let them touch the ball too much. That was part of their problem tonight. They had guys that just went cold, couldn't get stuff to drop for them, and they still kept feeding them the ball instead of letting the hot hand take over. But, hey, it is what it is. We've had a great NBA season. I'm certainly not going to be mad for dropping a little bit of money one day. We get into the NHL, we split today. We had the Boston Bruins in regulation, low money line there, 130. Colorado Avalanche, same thing, minus $1.15, went 1-1. I'm telling you right now, guys, the Bruins are in trouble. I'm not saying they're 100% fade material right this minute, but they're getting close. As I said all season long, that front three of Boston is the best in the NHL, and until someone figures it out, it's hard for any team to bag a win, especially in the Garden. Teams are starting to figure out how to keep up with that front three. And when Boston always wears themselves out and plays slower tempo in the third, they hammer them. Case in point today, Boston went out, got a quick lead. All they had to do was stay with them. And in the third, they hammered them and went out there and made the score look a lot worse than the game really was. But Boston got beat. Colorado took care of business, so we went 1-1 in the NHL there. We get into college basketball. Like I said, there's one game we cannot recap yet because it just started. Louisville -6. Florida State played a great game. They did. I do not think that Louisville, even if their biggest problem today was they couldn't pass. They were making the most horrible passes I've seen them make all year, and it went on all game. Even if they corrected that and that didn't happen, I still think Florida State would have won the game, but it wouldn't have been in the fashion that they did. But Louisville, we had them -6, and who I still think is the better team. And the numbers certainly supported this play, but we did take a loss there. And other than that, we haven't taken a loss since then. We had St. Francis today, minus 12.5, easy win. Liberty, minus 11, easy win. Hofstra, minus 13, easy win. Fresno State, minus 12, winner. Murray State, minus 15, winner. And then our top play in college basketball was LA Tech for the second time this week, minus 15. They won by 28, an easy top play blowout. So, I mean, as of right now, 6-1 with a top play winner in college basketball. You do the math. You can find someone that does better than that. Let me know. I'll buy their damn plays. All right, let's get into some free plays. First one, we'll go to college basketball. We had a top play 2 nights ago, Friday night on Wisconsin Green Bay, and they were laying 5. They absolutely smoked Illinois Chicago. Tonight we get another situation. Wisconsin Green Bay still at home. They're playing IUPUI. And, you know, a lot of times you don't like taking college basketball teams that have to play twice in 3 days. But fatigue's not going to be an issue in this game because IUPUI also played Friday. Wisconsin Green Bay's done no traveling. They're a good home team. They're 4-2 overall at home this year. And to be honest with you, if you look at their schedule, they've played a really tough schedule. They've played one of the tougher mid-major schedules out of anybody in the country. They've had to play top talent. They've had to play the toughest mid-major talent overall this year. If you take their entire schedule into it, not even remotely close to the same can be said about their opponent today. They're also one of the top scoring teams in the country. If you look at just scoring, period, that's it. Just that stat alone, Wisconsin Green Bay actually ranks 12th in the nation. Wrap your brain around that one. IUPUI, they're 285th, I think. 285th, 287th, something like that. They're down in the bottom 75 teams in all of D1 ball. They're also 1-7 on the road this year, and they're losing by an average of 26 points a game. Guys, the 7 losses they've taken this year, not one of them. Well, let's see, 1-7 on the road, and those 7 losses, not a single game have they lost by any less than 25 points. They've lost 4 straight. I don't think that they're going to break that losing streak today. Wisconsin Green Bay's won 4 out of their last 5. Every single stat we break down in this game for a team that I've followed very closely this year, the only thing that is not completely lopsided is free throw shooting. But Wisconsin Green Bay doesn't foul a lot when they don't have to. If they need to make fouls to just not give up an easy bucket, that's one thing. And they'll do it, obviously, against teams that have poor free throw shooting. I don't think you'll see Wisconsin Green Bay give up a lot of careless fouls tonight because they have a good coaching staff that really does scouting reports well. So I think that they will know and note that they're dealing with a good free throw shooting team, so don't give them the easy bucket. All signs point to a completely lopsided win. They're only laying 12. When I power ranked it, I had it ranked as high as 19. Power rank everything 3 different ways. The lowest was 15. The highest was 19. Either way, 12 soft. I think it'll go up. Wisconsin Green Bay going at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Market, that is a premium play. Wisconsin Green Bay minus 12. And then let's get into the NBA. One that probably one of the first ones that I really looked at. I'm seeing an initial line. Let me double check it real quick because William Hill has not released theirs yet, but I'm pretty sure it'll come out right around the same. Give me 1 second. Let me just see if William Hill's released anything. Because if so, I may go ahead and lock this one in. They haven't, but I'm seeing an opening line of 14 with the Lakers tonight. I don't like laying 14 with the Lakers. I don't really like laying double digits with them. Case in point being the other night we had them at minus 10. They won by 10, but they were up by 22 going into the fourth. If there's any team that has fourth quarter woes this year, it's going to be the Lakers. Some of it's them taking their foot off the gas. Some of it's being they just play poorly in the fourth quarter. But with Detroit having to play today, going up against Golden State, they still had to run with Golden State the whole time. They really had to play for four quarters. It was no gimme game by any stretch of the imagination. They're on the West Coast. They've been traveling. Griffin is on a decline. So I really think that not only that, we know who the better team is. LeBron James and Davis could probably go up and win the game, just them two. They've been moving the ball a lot better. I think that they're really going to clamp down in this fourth quarter just to kind of prove a point. And I think that they're going to be able to, because fatigue's going to set in the second half of this game for Detroit, making their West Coast trip, having to play the night of a back-to-back where the Lakers were not only at home on Friday, they got Saturday to rest, relax. There was no full practice on Saturday. They just did a morning shoot-around and workout. Everybody's healthy. So I'm going to take the Lakers. I'm going to lay 14. If your book opens a lot higher, you can send me an email and I'll answer. You can let me know what they do and I'll give you my advice. But anywhere between 14 and 15, I'm okay with it. If you get it lower, I'd lock it in as a premium. For sure, premium play Wisconsin, Green Bay. Lean right now, Lakers minus 14. If we can get it under that, we'll probably lock that one in as a premium as well. 3-day packages, guys, $50. 7-day packages, $99. Month packages starting at $2.99 is the new price for the 30-day packages. That way, you're basically, because you pay $99 for a week, you get 4 weeks for $300. You're basically getting a week for free. So if you have any questions, let me know. The play of the month or the play of the year is obviously not included in those. It's only included in the 1-year all access and the top play year. But it can be purchased for $100 and comes with a full 7-day guarantee. You have until 12 noon Eastern to purchase it. I am going to now go finish watching this Patriots game and then get some more work done and finally get some sleep. I love you guys. Thank you for a great Saturday again. Thank you so much for a great 2019 again. 2020 has started off with a bang. We're going to keep it going. We're only going to go up. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you back Monday.